Welcome to Lock and Load Podcast. My name's Josh, where we talk to you about Connecticut 2A issues. If you're watching this on a Monday, you probably know that. On my solo podcast on Monday, we do short little episodes, 5-10 minutes here, nothing long. Unlike our Friday episodes, those can be long sometimes. So on this episode, I want to talk about other gun stores, and I won't name any names here because some of them I don't know their names, that don't follow the law with assault weapons. Now, I may not agree with these laws, but I don't want my customers to get arrested. I don't want them to have bad advice. I don't want them to break the law. This is why I consult with my attorney. I consult with the state police. I consult with other gun stores, and to get you guys proper information, to get you guys on the correct side of the law, so you know what you can and cannot do in this state. Now, whether you agree with it or not, and whether you do it or not, at least you are aware of it. So you're an adult, you can make that decision. We get things into the store sometimes, or I see a picture of something, and I am absolutely flabbergasted. I know that's a big word. By some things. We'll share this most recent one. Threaded barrels on pistols are not legal in Connecticut. They are an assault weapon. Now, there is a SIG P320 Spectre comp. Now, unlike the Radiant afterburners, now, if you know anything about those are not threaded. There's a roll pin that sets the comp in the front, but it's basically a ported extended barrel that makes it a comp. On the Spectre comp, it's a thread. And on the top, to kind of set the thread, it's 2 screws. So the customer brought it to just brought us the slide, and we're looking at this thing, and on the top there, the screw was epoxied over, like just with normal clear epoxy. Now, to make something permanent, the ATF's definition is pinning and welding. So you got to drill a hole in it, put a pin in it, and weld it. Epoxy is not permanently doing that. It's not, you're epoxying metal doesn't do anything. And that's not making that not threaded. So we advise that he brought it to a gunsmith to go get that properly pin and welded. And I don't do that in house here. So that's not something I can help him with, unfortunately. But we called that store, and they said they couldn't tell us what they did to it, but they assured us it was legal. It's not. Epoxying screws into it or using red Loctite is still not making it permanent. Oh, do your research on that. Other ones I've seen on ARs, especially with the detachable magazines, I have two examples for this one. Some people think the Thorson stock is legal, and that is totally not. We tried that. I was a very big advocate of that in the beginning when HB 6667 got passed and got clarification before that went into effect that it was not, unfortunately. And I understand now, once I comprehended the law on how the state interprets it, that it's not legal. And I guess I'll explain that to you. So it says you cannot place an additional finger below the action of the firearm besides the trigger finger. So that's talking about these 3 fingers here. And when the Thorson stock basically turns into kind of a rifle aspect, but they consider the buffer tube part of the action. So on a normal layout, you need that to operate the gun. So, all right, Thorson stock's out. Then probably about a year ago, customer showed us a lower that had a similar stock. It wasn't a Thorson stock, but it didn't have the thumb hole on it. So the thumb hole portion of it wasn't broken out. And so one of the store argued it was grip versus grasp, because you weren't gripping the receiver, you were grasping the receiver. I don't agree with that. I don't think most attorneys are going to agree with that. I don't think, more importantly, Tong is going to agree with that. I think somebody's going to get caught with that, and they're going to deem it an assault weapon, unfortunately. And this, again, I'm not telling you the stores, and I'm not going to tell anyone the stores if you come in and ask. It's not to throw shade at them. It's to educate them. And we called the store and we talked to them. And I've talked to the store before too. They, in the beginning, again, 6667 was very confusing We tried to go with the Cali fin on the back of a pistol grip. We learned that was not legal. We went through SLFU for that, and they posted one on their Facebook page, and we were like, hey, it's not legal. Here's the email to let them know. So that was one of them. In a more recent discussion, I think it's called the Juggernaut Button, if I'm correct. And what that does is it pops up the receiver from the lower, and it allows you to remove the magazine from the lower, thus not making the magazine permanent. Now, we knew that was not legal. Our attorney told us that was not legal. Our attorney has told other stores this is not legal. And apparently a store sold this, and now this store is in hot water. I don't know where this store is. I don't know who this is, but if you think it is too good to be true, guys, it might be. I really, really recommend consulting with attorneys, maybe more than one attorney. And if you don't know attorneys in the gun industry, ask gun stores, ask us. I can give you multiple different attorneys in the field. Some I know, some I've never talked to in my life. If you're a USCCA member, you can go on there. I believe there's 9 or 10 that you can go and talk to or pick from. And if they don't know, they'll refer you to someone who they knows the answer. If you're a US Law Shield member, call up their attorney. They're going to help you get an answer. You know, if your attorney's on retainer, same concept. I'm sure they're going to help you, or Right to Bear or CCW Safe, whoever, whatever program you have. I always recommend have something, right? Whatever it may be, have something so you have the access to lawyers, to legal help in the event you need that, especially in a self-defense scenario. But with the confusing laws in Connecticut, you need to be able to understand them, especially when it comes to assault weapons. Now, I am not giving legal advice here. I am not an attorney. I'm not your attorney. I'm not anyone's attorney. I'm not an attorney. So that is my opinion on things. When it comes to CT legal rifles, you got a few options. You have something like a PC9 carbine. So that's a featureless rifle, right? No pistol grip, no adjustable stock. Like a Mini 14 and M1 fight lights. I'm a huge fan of fight lights. I've done a video on fight lights before. I've done a few videos on fight lights before. Huge fan on those guys. Or if you want the AR style, you use a fixed mag, a non-removable magazine, like a cross armory kit or a comp mag or a combination of both. My opinion, definitely a comp mag, because it has that built-in speed loader into it. You don't need to like jam in through the ejection well with like a, bear flag. They make a speed loader through the ejection well. I'm not a huge fan of that. And so comp mag is, I think, the way to go. Nice mags, good company, nice owner, met him at SHOT Show. That's what we choose to use here. And we're going a little bit above and beyond that in our fixed mags, based on HB 7042 and the liability aspect. When you see a gun that you're like, oh, that's really cool, I don't think that's Connecticut legal. And then the store's like, oh yeah, it is. XYZ reason. Before you go and drop, $2,000, $3,000 on it, confirm, do a little research, figure out why. Because you're the one that's going to catch the felony charge. You're going to be the one up Chicks Creek without a paddle. And we don't want that. Right? So if you guys have questions, definitely ask us. Stop in the store, ask some questions, comment below. Other than that, guys, we'll see you guys next time. Have a good day. Lock and Load Podcast is sponsored by Lock and Load Firearms, Connecticut's #1 rated gun store and pistol permit class on Google. Come check us out, 1573 Meriden Waterbury Turnpike in Southington. Lock and Load Firearms.
Lock and Load Podcast is also sponsored by Patriot Wear Holsters, custom-made Kydex holsters locally made in Waterbury, Connecticut. www.patriotwearholster.com and use code LNL Podcast for 10% off your purchase. Orders available for shipping or pickup at various locations.